Tommy Boyds.
Morning. As part of our continuing quest for contentment and peace of mind and good, sound mental health, between 2 and 3 we look at the latest therapy to come from the kingdom of mental health, California. The number is free call 0500 10 53 89. I guarantee that this piece of interactive therapy is one that you will want to try. And you can try it here and now, between 2 and 3. It's the latest, it could be the greatest. It works. It can be expensive, but not here. I'm prepared to explain it to you and even practice it with you free of charge. Free of charge? No, we'll pay for the call. We'll pay to make you a happier, more contented, stress-free individual in touch with yourself and reality. A new, calm you before 3 o'clock on this show. Yeah. Our number again is free call 0500 10 53 89. The guru of this new treatment is Emmanuel Lipton, who comes out of San Diego and is head of human dynamics at the university there. The therapy is an articulate version of the primal scream treatment, which was devised back in the 60s as a way of giving people an outlet, a safety valve for the angst and anger which is 20th century life. And we know sometimes, don't we, that we like to screw our fists up into a ball and just go, ah! Well, the primal scream therapy was a development of that. And you had mobile therapy units travelling round Beverly Hills, ringing a bell, a bit like an ice cream van. Ding dong, primal scream therapy. And you could hail the van, and you could get into the back of the van, which was padded. And you could stay there for 45 minutes, during which time you screamed and shouted abuse and anger and nonsense, and hurl yourself at the wall, the floor, and the ceiling if you wanted to. The ceiling was padded, and you'd come out of it 45 minutes later, a calmer, more well-balanced, more rational individual. Well, the therapy, the treatment, the counselling, which I'm going to outline in just a second and give you an opportunity to experience, is a development of that. It is an articulate version of the primal scream therapy. It is a destructive complement to a treatment known as Gestalt. Less widely used than before, but no less respected for that. And the Freudians amongst us will recognize this new form of therapy as an effort to give exercise to each of our natural, more Tido tendencies. There. So, sorry to blind you with science. Just want to make it clear that we're not dabbling in nonsense here. This kind of thing has been rubber-stamped by the world's top psychologists. How does it work? Well, why does it work first? It works because we are living in 1998, a time in the history of humanity when, as never before, we are encouraged to be extremely nice to each other. We are encouraged even to be nice, not only to strangers, but to people that we don't particularly like. Time was in human development that if you didn't like somebody, you could slug them. Only 200 or 300 years ago, you could slug them. There were no police officers. If it got to court, it would be your word against theirs, and in all probability it wouldn't get to court because, well, they'd slug you back. But we have no outlet now for our natural aggression towards other people, our understandable dislike of certain people. Which people? Strangers? Of course we don't like strangers, do we? Strangers who inconvenience us really, or in our imagination at all, we don't like them, we really don't. The difficulty comes with the fact that we actually, from time to time, dislike enormously people we know quite well. Colleagues, yes. Friends, don't we? Family, almost half the time. But we have to be polite to them. We have to be kind to them because we live in the age of Aquarius. And this builds up stress. This builds up energy in the mind, which can release itself in the form of dreams if you're a Freudian, or it can release itself in the form of obsessive or neurotic behavior, or worse. So a safety valve is called for. And this is what Professor Emmanuel Lipton and his team in San Diego have devised. And I'm going to give it its colloquial term. It's got a longer term, but you've got to get your head around it. Basically, it's insult therapy. And it's fantastic. It's an antidote to the "You're well and so am I" badge or book that you probably bought. It's an antidote to the entire "Have a nice day and a better tomorrow" culture. which has arrived in this country, and it's happening. It's an antidote to the huggy, love ya society, which we've become. And we need that antidote. Because whilst we are creative, loving people, we are also sometimes destructive, hateful people. And if we deny that side to our personality, we are on a slippery slope. So just as we consciously exercise our love for humanity, we must constantly exercise our dislike and hatred. So let's do it. I am quite prepared to insult you, and I am quite prepared to accept your insults. So give me a call, free call 0500 1053 89, and insult me as best you can, as much as you like. I mean, I don't mind if it's libelous, because I won't sue. I promise. There, whatever you say, okay? Just don't use bad words. You know the two I mean. Okay, fine. That's the deal. Free call 0500 1053 89, and I guarantee you will be the better for it. And let me get started. What about my colleagues? I'll tell you about my colleagues. What about the man who creatively advises this programme, Peter G? He is a bitter, talentless Scottish dwarf if ever there was one. What about my best friend, Mick? He is a cantankerous barnacle on the hull of humanity, a manic depressive with a cricket curry fixation, the size of Australasia. Free call 0500 1053 89. Your best friends, your colleagues, your family. I guarantee you this feels good. This feels great. Try it. You will be a better man, a better woman, a better child, a better crumbly for it. Scotchism? Yes, he's my friend, but at the same time, he is the most all-consuming, pompous primate I have ever come across. Offer him a bowl of primordial soup and he wouldn't know whether to eat it, drink it, or call it a family gathering. I love it. Peter Dealey, all hat and no cattle. That James Whale, an ego as big as the Empire State Building, the difference is he's got more flaws. Tony Blair is a balding, oily opportunist. Glenn Hoddle, he says life is an overcoat. All right, Glenn, if it is, belt up. Free call 0500 1053 89. Insult therapy. It works. Arsenal Football Club? If that what's life's like without booze, mine's a special brew. Say what you really think. We've all got cross enough to have to go out and chop some wood or throw some stones or punch the lockup. It's now been recognised by the world's top psychologists as an extremely important adjunct to our natural span of emotions. Being rotten to people who actually quite like and insulting them. Free call 0500 1053 89. Give me a call. I'll be happy to insult you, and happy, delighted to accept your insults. There are many people who think that the increase in mental illness in the late 20th century is caused, as much as anything else, by the pressure to be nice. And you don't have to stop at insulting me. You can insult Ian Paisley, Prince Philip, Martin Lewis, Jill Dando, Alan Titchmarsh, cab drivers everywhere, England in general, vegetarian friends, Christians, men on allotments, women in supermarkets, bar staff, John Ketley, John Humphreys, Penny Juna, Martin Blundell, Tim Henman, your mum, the Pope, the woman next door, Jerry Springer, girls, boys, your brother, Martin Borman, your best friend, Enoch Powell, Andy Peters, K.D. Lang, Norman Mailer, John F. Kennedy, Alan Shearer. If you want, you can tell God just what you think of him. It will do you good. And if he's any kind of a god, that's what he'd want. I'm Tommy Boyd. This is Talk Radio. There is a good argument for listening.
The conversation of the nation. Free call 0500 1053 89.
Apparently we should insult people more, especially the people that we know and love. Let's try it. I'm happy to insult you, and I'll take any insults you want to give. You'll be the better for it. Moses is our first caller from Pontypridd. You're on Talk Radio. Moses, good afternoon.
Tommy, you're such a short arse, and you're so full of it. You give so much bull. The smell in that studio must be obnoxious when you open your mouth on your radio station. You think you're so fantastic. You've done every job in the world. You are just such a small-minded little man with a silly little short haircut. You only bouffant your hair up at the moment because you're going bald on top and you don't want to admit it. And it's bloody terrible. And I'm just so annoyed about it all.
And you are an arty-farty pseudo-taff with a knee-jerk, rugger-bugger, dog-loving, half-timbered terraced house at the end of some Japanese valley.
But Tom, you're not qualified to say that because you're a short arse who knows nothing about me as a person. We all know about you, or so-called know about you. As I said, the bullshit that comes out of you, you're just like, you're less than a bungalow, mate.
Feels good, doesn't it?
Oh, it's excellent, mate.
Oh, it's great. I love it.
It's the Victor Meldrew syndrome.
Oh, I love you, Moses.
I love you, Tom, honestly.
Anytime.
No, but you are such a short ass and you wind me up so bloody much. But to tell you this now is fantastic.
Yeah.
And I love to be abused back. We don't do it enough.
I know.
The lovey-dovey situation is like, no, you're screaming in your head. Stop it. Tell that person they are an arse.
Listen, the deal is this. If you call the programme to take part in insult therapy, we find out one or two things about you. So I found out that Moses practices encaustic wax painting.
Yeah.
He's got a mongrel dog and he loves rugby.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that says it all, doesn't it, Tom?
Yeah,
Englishman
it does,
living in
doesn't it?
Wales, mate. You know, I am
All right.
perfect.
All
I
right.
am perfect. But everybody else is such a waste of
Yeah.
space.
What, Moses, until next time, thank you.
Cheers, Tom.
What a good man. Iffy calls from London. Iffy, you're on Talk Radio. Good afternoon.
You're blood clot. You're a midget, man. You're a midget. You're like, I seen photo of you, yeah? You're a midget. How does it feel being a midget, man? Or is that too personal, man?
Isn't it? Come on, loosen up, Iffy.
All
Loosen
right,
up.
sorry,
It's one track stuff. Come on.
It's white people in general, yeah?
Yeah, fine.
They
That's
try
fine.
and dance here. They can't do it, you know?
Yeah.
They're crap. And
Yeah.
they're so weak, man. I just mug any of them, you know? They're like, they don't do anything back, you know? Like, we're the superior race, man.
Yeah.
And they can't do nothing. And old people,
Yeah.
why they always complaining, you know?
Yeah.
They're always like, dog poo here and there. They walk
Yeah.
straight through it, you know, because they can't, takes too long to go around it, so just walk through it, and that's why they're complaining, you know.
That's fairly good, Iffy. You're warming up a bit now. How does it feel?
It feels alright, you know.
Okay.
There's one more thing, man.
Yeah.
That Jimmy Hill geezer, man,
Yeah.
he's a dick,
And
man.
it's Jimmy Hill as well.
Yeah, you know.
Yes, he is. That golf shot that he played on that programme we watched the other night was just...
Oh,
ludicrous,
my
wasn't
word.
it?
And golf, people play golf, man.
Yeah.
What's the point, man?
Yeah.
Just play pool, man. You could do it in your own house, you know.
Iffy.
Yeah, man.
Iffy.
Yeah.
You know what you are?
What am I?
You are a completely surly, beetle-browed, pigeon-chested, moronic, mock baritone, cloth-eared sack of testosterone and cholesterol with your malodorous gorilla breath and your hunched-up posture of an arthritic baboon guzzling and grizzling your way through a worthless life with your knuckles dragging on the dirt behind you.
That went over my head, man. Sorry, I didn't quite catch it. It was like,
Felt good from my point of view.
it was a mumble of words to me, you
Well,
know.
whatever, Iffy.
Got to really get to me.
Yeah.
But you didn't get me. I didn't get my heart, my chest, you know,
didn't
your
really?
blood clot.
Oh, well, I tried. Well, therapy takes a while, Iffy, doesn't it?
Well, I feel good now, you know. I
feel
want
good.
to give me someone else, you know. I want to cuss someone else down.
It's
Give me.
good, isn't it? Doesn't it feel good?
It does.
Thank you, Iffy, for your call. Free call 0500 1053 89. For the first time in their sun-drenched lives, these Californians are on to something. This insult therapy works. Do try it when the family are together tonight. I guarantee you'll all feel a lot better. Jenny calls from London. Jenny, you're on Talk Radio. Welcome to Insult Therapy.
Yes, I'd like to say that men, which type you represent, have got ugly personalities. They cause untold stress to humanity, and then in the next vein, they expect to know what love is. The two don't go together. You can't tell a man what's wrong, because what will he show you? The fist. The fist. Men think they can find love. They don't know what it is. They're inadequate, they're small-minded, they're grudged children, and they're grudged adults. Thank you.
And you, Jenny, are a squat, spindly-legged, cat-toothed, boss-eyed, pock-marked, odorous, rancorous trollop with hair in all the wrong places. Scare the horses, you'd scare the alligators, woman. Huh? No oil painting? Jenny's not even a gargoyle. This is how it works. Insult therapy gives people an opportunity to not only be sure at long last that people do perceive them in the way that they most fear, but also an opportunity to release some of the pressure which builds up during the course, not just of any day, but goodness, weeks and months and maybe years of pressure builds up as people basically bite their lips and are forced to emit half-truths or straightforward fabrications when they're with people, particularly people that they know and meet often. Insult therapy clearly works, and this is your opportunity to try it. Free call 0500 1053 89. I'll take whatever you have to give, however libelous. There's a couple of words I won't allow, of course, and naturally, you, interests of your own mental health, we'll take whatever you get back. Free call 0500 1053 89. I'm Tommy Boyd. This is Talk Radio. There's a good argument for listening.
Talk to Tommy Boyd. Free call 0500 1053 89. 0500 1053 89.
Good morning. If you've just arrived at the radio, I'm Tommy Boyd. And between 2 and 3 this afternoon, we're exploring a new counselling treatment which has arrived from the United States, devised by Manuel Lipton in San Diego. It's an articulate version of primal scream therapy. It basically gives words to the anger that we so often feel, not just at strangers, but in fact more often than not, towards people that we know, meet often, perhaps even love. We're calling it insult therapy. Free call 0500 1053 89. If you want to try it, if you want to get something off your chest, I will take whatever you've got to give, as long as you can take whatever you're going to get back, because that's how it works. And as past callers have suggested, it has immediate successes, I think. Phil calls from London. You're on Talk Radio. Phil, good afternoon.
Hello, Tom. You are an ego maniac. You think you're an ego warrior. And also the sacred cow, your sacred cow, America and California. I mean, it's the land of drivel, dysfunction, hysteria, obesity, gluttony. It's a marvellous example. And how far is insult and violence of the tongue from physical violence? Are you inciting people to start raging at each other, and then where does it stop? I don't think it's anything at all to be proud of, this insult therapy. Why don't people get more laid back and use their brain instead of the organs beneath their brain going right on down to their boots?
Okay, very good. Do you feel a little bit better now that you have
No, it's just an act, mate. Just an act I'll put on for you.
Mm-hmm. That's very good, very good.
Cheers, mate.
Now, I understand that you are unemployed, is that right?
Well, I'm employed, but I ain't getting paid for it.
I see. And you like reading books about rock and roll?
Rock and roll, writing, yeah, and reading. 3 hours.
And you're not married?
No, not now.
Okay. So, Phil...
where's the insults coming out of you?
You are a completely unemployable, sponging, whinging, elderly wannabe with a fake I once met Phil Collins story we've all heard too many times, and a completely fake I could find a wife, but I can't really be bothered demeanour which you carry with you.
Right, let's get down to it. Here.
We're discussing outcomes at the moment. Do you?
Yeah.
I hope you... Yeah.
I know the outcome is, mate, that we all learn from this. Like, we all learn from something every day, and you're pro. Now, that bloke that called up talking about white blokes walking into dog's poo. Now, is he well balanced or what? A chip on both shoulders? Very well balanced.
Phil in London. Free call 0500 1053 89. Might take a couple of months, Phil. Dave calls now from Huddersfield. You're on Talk Radio, Dave. Good afternoon. Exploring insult therapy.
Right. I'm glad you said good afternoon, because a minute ago you said good morning. You are the saddest, fuzzy-headed 70s throwback. Shorty pants, and we've not seen a herd of you for years. You've crawled out the ground to some poxy mid-afternoon slot for semi-retired ex-celebs. You rattlesnake, you lowlife. You Tommy Boyd, what kind of a name's that? Tommy Boyd, there's a good argument for listening. You use big words to undermine people's confidence. Well, I've got a big word for you, Tommy. Elastoplast, okay?
Dave, I understand that you come from Huddersfield.
Yes.
And you're a lecturer in construction, a Liverpool supporter.
Yep.
And you do watercolour painting.
Yeah.
Well, I don't really need to insult you, do I really, Dave? Because your CV itself is an immense insult, isn't it, to anybody?
Yeah, what would
really?
you know?
Sorry?
What would you know about that?
Well, let's try it then, shall we?
Go on.
You are a semi-articulate, insecure, whippet-keeping brickie with a bottle-bottom pair of glasses and a beer gut who sits alone in the corner of the pub, rocking gently and speaking your thoughts out loud whilst looking through a copy of Exchange and Mart with a pink highlighter.
Free ads, actually. Nice one.
Feel good?
I'll tell you who I really want to insult. Can I mention corporate names on the radio?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh, Abbey National.
Yeah.
Dear, those sad adverts with that guy with the curly hair and he says life's complicated enough. I've just been bounced from one section to another just to organise some simple transaction, and at the end of it you've got somebody at the end of the phone going, I'm sorry, we can't help you at the moment, you're going to have to come in and sort that out and write it all out yourself. Oh my God, dear oh dear.
It's very
Can't believe
therapeutic,
it.
isn't it, Dave?
Sorry?
It works, doesn't it?
It does work, yeah. I feel a lot better.
Thank you for your call. Free call 0500 10 53 89. We've hit a rich vein here as we explore insult therapy. And our next client is Rebecca, calling from Oldham. You're on Talk Radio, Rebecca. Good afternoon.
Hi, Tommy. I think all you do is put people down, right? You make the tip. You just make fun of them. No, shut up, right? You just make fun of them and take the mick out of them. Right? And I just don't like it. You're getting paid for doing that.
Yeah, and you have too much hairspray, and you're short-ass bastard. You need cowboy boots to make yourself taller, and you need mascara, and you need a wig, but all your nits eat the wig, so you keep having to get new ones.
Yes, it's fairly good, Rebecca. The language in the background we didn't hear, luckily. But it's not pure therapy because you really need to be focused on who you're insulting. And it was quite a good try, I thought.
I'm insulting you?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
And I know a lot of things about you. You wear mascara to make your eyelashes longer, you.
And cowboy boots.
Yeah, to make you taller.
Yeah. Okay, that's pretty good. That's not bad. From a
And
pair
I
of...
know that you've had plastic surgery in the past, and you have to...
On your ass.
That's fairly good from a pair of thick, rubber-lipped, droop-eyed, salivating blocks of wood with the IQs.
How do you know that I'm a block of wood?
Hey, but steady. You're getting it back. You've got to be able to take it on board because otherwise it's not proper therapy.
Little bumhead.
No. This is not good practice here. This is no good. I mean, no, because in a minute I'm going to insult you and mean it, and then you probably won't be able to speak to anybody for 20 years. It's happened before.
Oh, yeah, whatever.
Why don't you let us talk instead of you just talking?
Because you're a pair of boring, shallow ninnies.
And I hate you.
You're
Boring, dull, shallow ninnies with no brain and no wit.
You haven't got...
Wit. No, I'm sorry, they've got to go. They didn't get it. No more of them. No more children. Free call 0500 10 53 89. Well, they weren't children. Well, they weren't mentally. John calls from Stockport. You're on Talk Radio. John, good afternoon.
Hello, Boydie.
Hello.
Is that Boydie?
Yes.
You think you're a big man, don't you?
That's good. Carry on.
Yeah, well, I mean, your show's absolute crap, for a start. And when Ian Collins is on, he did a far better job than you. Don't you think so?
This is not very good insulting, John. You're a repressed individual. You can't do it yet. Come on now. I want you just to loosen up a little bit. Shake it out.
Well, I've always thought you're an obnoxious little fart.
Better. It's a bit repetitive, but it's coming along. You're a lot better than your first try. Can you feel that? Perhaps you'd like to move into one or two other areas. Perhaps be a little bit specific, a little bit vindictive. Maybe get on a real roll with it. Take a deep breath, John, and have another try. It's very good so far.
Well, as far as I can see, all you do is contradict people. You don't come across with any logical arguments. So that means you're a sicko, and you've got no chance of going anywhere, and you're going to be stuck to UK Talk Radio for the rest of your life because you're sick. You're absolutely dense, man.
Okay, it's still just a little bit sort of one tracked, isn't it? One paced, monosyllabic. If you could just get a kind of a flow going and maybe vary the avenues of attack a little bit. Would you like one more try?
No, give him the best shot because I'm fed up.
So because you're fed up?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Well, you're a sales rep, I understand, are you?
Yes, a very good one.
Yes, and you have no hobbies?
Well, yes, I do.
What are they?
Golf.
Golf?
Mm-hmm. What's wrong with golf?
Nothing. I'll get there. And anything else? Do you have any pets?
None at all.
No pets?
Nope.
No animals?
Nope.
Right. Okay, and do you like sport?
Watching only.
Watching it only. All right. Okay, well, what age are you, by the way, John?
35.
35? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and where are you from originally?
Inverness.
Yes, I think we probably knew that, didn't we? Okay. All right. John, you are a monosyllabic, empty-headed individual with an empty life, doing an irrelevant job, living an irrelevant life. You are a complete waste of a human skin, with the mind of a rocking horse, a devious, sly, yet dim individual, a grave filler, a food bag, a rat bag if ever there was one.
Better.
It's better. Yeah. Free call 0500 10 53 89. Free call 500 10 53. I don't think he quite got it. We're engaged here in a form of therapy. Just called insult therapy. It's fresh from California, and the idea is that if you don't want somebody to have a nice day because you don't like them, you say so. Nick calls from Northampton. Nicky, I beg your pardon. Nicky, you're on Talk Radio. Good afternoon.
How you doing, Tommy?
Nicky, I'm well.
Good.
Nicky.
Tommy, I mean, I don't really want to get into a slangy match. I just really wanted to phone up. When I heard you describing what you're doing today, I thought it would be a fantastic opportunity for me to phone up and simply tell you on how tedious and annoying I found your show. And I'm going to have to admit here and confess I do actually listen to it quite regularly, but only because I find it so annoying. And I'm looking forward to waiting for what pathetic, stupid subject. Do you remember that subject you did one time about teeth? About your argument that we don't need teeth?
Yes.
How long did it take to think that one up?
About a minute and a half.
I guess so, yeah. It showed, didn't it? Do you think that one worked? I mean, did you come off thinking that was a good show?
You remember it better than I do.
Yeah, I know. Well, for all the wrong reasons, I'm afraid, Thomas. All the wrong reasons.
Yes.
Yeah, it was stupid. Your ratings, how are they doing?
Well, they're phenomenal, actually.
Are they really?
Yes.
Are you just saying that, or are they phenomenal?
No, that's true. I mean, what can that tell you?
Well, I don't know. I'll have to take your word for it that they're phenomenal.
Well,
I very much doubt it.
Oh, you're calling me a liar?
Possibly. In
Well,
fact,
why
I
don't
am
you say
calling
so
you a
then?
liar.
You see, Nick, you're not very good at insulting people, are you?
Well, no, because I reckon you need to be an angry, bitter, twisted person like yourself that needs to be able to, insult people.
No.
I'd rather.
On the contrary, the conduit actually has the energy flowing in the opposite direction to the one which you guess. Yes. Quite simply, we end up a bitter and twisted person because when we feel cross with somebody, we're unable to give action to that emotion.
Is that right?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Right,
yes.
okay.
Some people end up bitter and twisted because they can't insult. And you, Nick, are having difficulty insulting people.
I am actually, yeah, but I wouldn't regard myself as bitter and twisted.
No.
Thomas, you used to be in TV, didn't you? You used to be a TV presenter.
Yes.
What happened there? Normally, does it not work the other way around, that you start off radio, then you go on to TV, as opposed to taking a backward step in your career?
We'll talk about me any time you like, Nick, but not during this hour because we're exploring a new form of therapy.
Oh, sorry, I beg your pardon. I thought I was insulting you.
Oh, you see, you're hopeless at it, aren't you? Aren't you?
I don't know. Looking at your career.
That's just
your
no good.
Career that is possibly now in tatters. Sorry?
Let me come back at you, Nicky, shall we?
Okay, go on.
You're a student.
That's right, yeah.
Okay. And you support Liverpool?
Along with millions of others, yeah.
And I understand you've got a dog.
That's right, yeah.
What sort of a dog is that?
A Rottweiler.
A Rottweiler?
That's right, yeah.
Oh, a Rottweiler.
Yeah, but amazingly, that's how you pronounce it.
Oh, yes, yes. I knew somebody who pronounced that aftershave, Brut. Anyway, you have a Rottweiler. Okay.
I do.
Nicky, it goes a little bit more like this, okay? Thank you for this little window into your world, you middle-class, spotty-faced hoorah Henry with a false accent, a double chin, and a collection of girly magazines bigger than the chip on your shoulder, and the wire rope which substitutes for the knicker elastic which holds up the cheeks of your dropped bottom. Now, that's proper.
So, Thomas, did you think of that, or is someone busily scribbling away in the background? Because I can't imagine you thought of that one. I suspect someone's probably scribbling away in the background and handing it to you, are they?
Well, that's about the best insult you've managed so far.
Oh, that's true, is it?
Thank you for your call.
Thank you.
There. Free call 0500 10 53 89. Welcome to a new world. A world in which you allow your genuine feelings, particularly about people you love, know, and respect, to rise to the surface. The Americans say it will make for a more complete relationship, and it, more important, will make for a more complete you. So let's try it. I'm quite happy to listen to your insults and quite happy to pay you back. Let's talk to Sue, who calls from Southampton. You're on Talk Radio. Sue, good afternoon.
Hey, man, what are you doing, man? Come in my shop and you're not going to buy any of my stuff, man. I don't care what you say, man. You're coming in here, you're looking at my stuff, man. You're going off out there. You go off up, man. I don't care, man. Hi, Tommy. Hello.
Sue?
Tommy, I've just spent 2 weeks in America.
Yes.
And 4 days in New York.
Yes.
And that's exactly how we got treated when we went into a shop to look at video cameras and stuff. My husband said, I'm just looking, thank you. And that's what they said to us. Absolutely fantastic. I mean, if you'd had anything wrong with your brain that day, you would have gone home feeling absolutely, really down, you know. But that was the way it was in New York. Everybody was on an ego trip. Everybody was on this, what you doing, man? And if you don't want to fit in with me, you just clear off, man.
Sue, thank you for your call. Free call 0500 10 53 89. I'm Tommy Boyd. This is Talk Radio. There's a good argument for listening. On the side and say to them, I need to get this off my chest because whilst I love you, care about you, need you, want you in my life, respect 99% of the things about you, there are a couple of things which drive me up the wall. Do you mind if I tell you what they are? And then you let rip. One of the great things about families is that you can have an argument and then 10 minutes later somebody will say, I'll put the kettle on, who wants tea? And everybody does and forgets about the argument. That's one of the great things about a family. But we need to take it a stage further. And in America, they have taken it a stage further, partly as an antidote to the fact that America has become a very have a nice day, huggy, love your society, in which our natural aggression, our natural urge to destroy, which Freud called our mortido, is rarely given rein. But it is, thanks to Lipton and what we're calling the insult therapy. Free call 0500 10 53 89. Give your mortido full rein. I'll take it, you take it back, and we'll compare the experience afterwards. 90% of our callers in this hour have said that they found it extremely beneficial, like a good workout at the gym. Vic calls from Surrey. You're on Talk Radio. Vic.
Thomas, I regard you with utter scorn, contempt and derision. You are smug, patronising and arrogant. You think you are a detached, amusing searcher after truth. But woe betide anyone who upstages your tiny little 4 GCSE intellect. Were you the class clown, the class clever dick? Is that why you pretend to be interested in football? Get off your arse and do the sort of job that people you love looking down on have to do.
Well, Vic, I understand you're unemployed.
I didn't say I was unemployed. I said I was made redundant from a large insurance company, and I was thinking of their managers when I said the first paragraph.
You like political biographies?
That's right.
And you play chess?
If I find someone to play with.
Exactly.
Yes, how do you mean exactly?
You are a pompous, toffee-nosed, lardy-darring, fake posh, fake everything with a 2-bit, no-hope, half-hold on reality and a puffed-up, trumped-up, 2-fingered, half-hold on your flea-bitten, rat-ridden
We've all got a rosé thesaurus, Thomas.
So, how did it feel, Vic, anyway, to get that off your chest?
I feel better, yes. I must admit, I do agree that...
Good.
I mean, I must admit, I wasn't obviously that annoyed.
No.
I've noticed most of the callers have been men, but the only one that sounded really annoyed was a woman.
Yes.
Is that, she's put the phone, not the last woman at the phone, the one before.
I've got no gender, I've got no data, on the gender variations on
It
this
is
one, Vic.
interesting, isn't it?
Well, it's early doors with insult therapy, but I like it, and I think it's an instant, and these days we're into instant therapy. That's my neuro-linguistic
I feel better
program.
already.
I'm sure you do.
It's like Prozac.
Vic.
Not that I've been on it, but I mean, I imagine it's what it feels. I feel almost like singing now.
Your servant. Vic in Surrey, another satisfied customer, another healthy individual walking the streets of Surrey. Makes 3. Free call 0500 10 53 89. Ken calls from Walsall. Ken, you're on Talk Radio. Good afternoon.
Who do you think you are? I think I'm the person standing in here looking at 3 jackasses dressed up.
I'll give him a second to see if he comes back. But, I mean, if this is the best we're going to get, I mean, we really have got an all-time loser here in Walsall.
And so we're going to settle and say, I don't want to arrest.
I'll just leave it there for a second. Because Ken is probably taping this with his other tape recorder in his bedroom. And, Ken, I'm going to hang you with this one. You probably do live in Walsall because I don't think you've got the imagination to make up. Nobody would pretend they lived in Walsall. And, Ken, if Walsall has low regard at the moment, just wait and see what the rest of the nation thinks of Walsall and its youths. Ken is 17. Are you there? Come on, Ken, come to the telephone. No. Ken is a student and he supports Manchester United. Free call 0500 10 53 89. Not good, Ken, really. You're obviously very repressed and you really do need an opportunity to express yourself. I suggest you see somebody. Well, look at anything except pictures. Tony calls from Nottingham. You're on Talk Radio, Tony. Good afternoon.
Hello, Tommy.
Tony.
Yes, I was rung up to insult you.
Okay.
And, I'd like to say that I think you're an inadequate, egotistical little man who finds himself in the privileged position of hosting a radio show and chooses to abuse that position by dreaming up the most controversial, banal subjects he can think of in a vain attempt to try and generate as much publicity for himself at the expense of valuable airtime, which could be occupied by a more skilled presenter. And that's about it, really.
Not very, very good, was it, Tony? Very repressed, wasn't it?
No, I don't think so. I think that's pretty much an accurate summary of your slant on your program.
Little devoid of emotion, though, Tony, and this is really what we need to get to with this form of treatment for people like yourself, really. Who
I think I calmed down a bit, actually, in the waiting, you see. I was probably a bit more angry initially, but I couldn't quite sort of sustain it through to the death.
Well, it's only 12 minutes. I think anybody of your age, in your prime, I'm 31.
You think I should have been more suitably enraged, do you?
Yes. Well, I note from your details that you're not married.
I'm not, no.
There's probably quite a lot of pent-up emotion there, isn't there?
There could be.
And I see as well, you're an ex-computer operator.
I am.
Were you not good enough at it, or...?
I didn't like it, to be honest with you.
Understood.
I grew tired of it.
But your main area of expertise is in art and design.
Well...
Which is very, very interesting.
I'm getting there slowly.
Yes.
So how do you come up with these topics then, Tommy? Do you think to yourself, aha, here's one, that'll get me some publicity? I know what I do. I try and come up with something really controversial.
When you've got a national radio...
See how far I can push it. See how far I can go.
When you've got a national radio program, Tony, you don't need to get publicity. You've got it.
Yeah, but nevertheless, there's never enough. I think my suspicion is you're just trying to use this as a stepping stone to what you perceive to be better things. So you're trying to generate as much publicity for yourself to try and get yourself that little deal somewhere that will just enable you, you think, to sort of propel yourself into another sort of another stratosphere in terms of broadcasting.
This is much better, Tony. You're really loosening up here.
I'm digging deep now, aren't I?
I think this is doing you a lot of good, isn't it?
I'm cutting to the bone now.
Would you like to really go for broke now?
Well, that was it, more or less, Tommy.
Well, again...
And you know it's true, don't you, deep down? That's why these insults work.
Well, they work for you. I just have to take it. Again, it's me giving, isn't it? And the listener taking. You see?
Well, anyway, do you want to do your worst then?
You would like me to insult you?
Well, of course.
You would like me to insult you?
Well, that was the deal, wasn't it?
But let's be clear about this. You now want me to be extremely rude to you.
I do.
Okay. You're clearly a very sad, lonely, and incompetent man, not necessarily in that order. But above all, the thing that leaps off the page at you, and it has to leap off the page because nobody would ever want to actually meet you, is that you are a hornet's nest of venomous jealousy as never was. Is that...
No, not at all. Not at all. No, I've got no aspirations to be a radio broadcaster myself, so that's not the case.
No, well, that isn't the point either, is it, really? You've just been insulted. Now, how did it feel?
All right. It didn't feel too bad, actually. I thought you could have done better. I thought you could have sort of, had a bigger dig.
Okay, well...
But it was a good effort.
Thank you. Thank you for your call. Free call 0500 1053 89. It's insult therapy. Until 3 o'clock, I'm Tommy Boyd. This is Talk Radio. There's a good argument for listening.
Talk to Tommy Boyd. Free call 0500 1053 89.
As we begin to draw our conclusions on the benefits of this new form of therapy, which is being pioneered in the United States, which amounts to insult therapy. And Nima is our next caller from Surrey. You're on Talk Radio. Nima, good afternoon.
Hello, Tommy.
Nima.
This insult therapy sounds a bit suspect to me. You say it's actually a cure for anger and anxiety, is it not?
No, most certainly no one is saying that, no.
What is it then?
It's what we have said all along. It is an opportunity for... it acts as a safety valve.
Right.
For a lot of the energy which is stored up in the brain as a result of thoughts, words and actions which are unused because we deem it inappropriate to give flesh to some of the feelings which we have.
I can see. You see, I like the fact that you use the words building up. You see, pressure building up. But if you were to be honest with people all the way along through your relationship, would you not find that you wouldn't get this built up?
You
anger
are
and
having a lot of difficulty being insulting.
Well, no,
Nima.
the thing is, I do think you're practically flawless, to be honest. And I've been trying hard to think of insults, but I love you so much it's difficult.
Yes, I
However, I'm happy to be honest with you.
Hmm.
Oh, Tommy, I haven't insulted you yet. You can't start.
No.
No, and I don't intend to insult you. I do intend to be honest with you because, like a family member, I love you, and I want you to be a better person. I will tell you the truth.
This is cowardly, and this is...
Probably true. Actually, there is a hint of truth in there.
Yes.
You're cowardly. If I don't insult you too badly, you can't insult me back.
Yes, I can, and I certainly will.
All right, fine. Go ahead. It doesn't matter.
You're calling from Surrey?
Yes.
You're a law student?
Yes.
And you like sports like volleyball?
You're not going to mention the other one because you like it yourself.
Baseball.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I love that game.
Yes.
Not enough people do, but I love it.
Well, Nima, as is typical of somebody calling from that arid, emotion-free desert plain we know and do not love as Surrey, and as is typical of the barrack room lawyer, which you one day will probably be, who is as yet unable to barrack a mime artist with a megaphone, you have betrayed your love of the very sweat-free, spectatorless non-sports which all Brits, true and false, loathe with a vengeance. Nima, you are a hopeless loser of a child. How does that feel?
It's actually... it didn't strike deep enough because they weren't true. I think you've done better in the past.
All right, thanks for your call.
Don't forget to subscribe and like. Comment too if you wish. Even slap your legs and make a purchase from Ann Summers. But don't do nothing.